Hey guys, I'm RozaldVane and welcome back to another episode of VLR, or Virtue's Last Reward, or Zero Escape, Virtue's Last Reward. Last episode we were getting up to a point where we are making a decision of betray an ally. This is part of the last flow of this ending, apparently. Or this part of the ending of this branch. Which is kind of surprising that we're here at this point. But there seems to be no more after this, so... Betray your ally, we get the bad ending and the Tenmyouji ending, so there's going to be some sort of ending of sorts for the two. So we'll be diving into that for this episode, but previous to that, we learned the truth about the bombs, because we finally know who Zero is in terms of how he looks, but he gave us the deactivation code for bomb number 1, but not bomb number 2, 3, or 4, so... one thing is one, but not the others. Not everything is given completely. So I'm assuming that there's probably 2, 3, and 4's deactivation code in other branches that we'll probably have to find. But we're not there yet. So we'll have to get to that point where we'll probably somehow find it through that. But we also don't have the password to the director's office computer. So that's going to be another issue where we're just not sure how we're going to open the password for... this branch here yet, so we're not there yet, but we're probably closing in on that. But anyways, we're gonna go and see how this ends. We're gonna do betray first because betray is the bad one anyways, I obviously know, and ally is the easier one to see the good ending. That's Tenmyouji's ending, or quote-unquote good ending for that character. So yeah, I had a decision to make. Should I trust Quark and Tenmyouji? Well, I could believe they were telling the truth and still betray them. That would bring my BP to 6. I'd be that much closer to 9. And choosing betray would guarantee that they wouldn't try and escape without the rest of us. Betrayal seemed like the safe bet. Honestly, I don't remember what other characters' scores are in terms of their BP on their bracelet. I can't remember who has the highest besides these two. I think Dio might be the highest with them. But even then, he's paired up with like Luna and Vi, I think. Yeah, because it was Clover and Alice, I think, and Kay in their lineup. So yeah, and Kay's probably close to leveling up too. So if anything, everybody could escape except for me, anyways. I think me and Vi probably. Betrayal seemed like the safe bet, but so they can get out. Honestly, I don't trust Quark a little bit here, because I think people have said in the past that Quark was like a two-faced person kind of thing. And Tenmyouji's just doing his own thing anyways. Tenmyouji, I could betray easily enough, but Quark? What the hell was I going to do? I mean, if anything, we're going to see both endings anyway, so we're going to have to choose both. I'm not really panicky about it.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Betray. Betray is going to be the first one anyways for me. But it is interesting that they gave us more time to talk to. They did give us enough time to talk to the other side. Since we're solo for the first time, we've really never got to like, or not the first, yeah, we're solo for the first time, but this is the second time where we are alone in the AB room, because the first time we were alone in the AB room was when Luna got killed in one of the branches. But this is the second time being alone, but the first time being solo, so we get to see how things would play out in this case on our own.
結果は倉庫内のディスプレイに表示されます。お疲れ様でした。アンビデックスゲートを開放します。
Yeah, I wonder who's gonna leave though. Who's gonna get out of here? Because I'm pretty sure Dio would be the one to get out of here though. Let's see the results.
アンビデックスゲーム第3ラウンドの結果を発表します。
Also, there was not a single person talking while they were walking to this, so...
一度画面にご注目ください。
Or at least some sort of description of what everyone was doing to get to the screen. Yeah, everyone's here except for Alice, which sucks. Betray, betray, betray ally. Betray, betray. Ah! These guys were stupid to think that I would not think that. Oh my god. Oh, Clover gets to go out. Okay, I much prefer Clover getting out. But that's interesting that Clover betrays with Luna. Oh, because they didn't trust Kay, because Kay would have tried to, like... Yeah, Kay would have been, like, could easily betray, and then Luna could get killed from that. That makes sense. Dio, on the other hand, piece of crap, doesn't get to leave anymore. He's stupid enough to think that betray would be the best choice. Why would you... Oh, Phi was with Alice, okay. Why would you think that they would do that? I knew we shouldn't have trusted Tenmyouji and Quark in the betray section, but I bet that if I chose ally, they would both choose ally, I think. I think that they would have allied if I chose ally, but I think that that's a thing that I'm curious about. Like, will that do the same thing like they did from the other branches? Where if I chose oppositely, they chose oppositely different than what was expected, I guess. But if they choose betray and I chose ally in the next rerun of this, that would be interesting to see that they actually never cared to begin with. They lied to me always. Man, they lied to me. Hey, what's the deal?
クオークは関係ない。投票はわしが独断で行ったんじゃ。
So why did you choose betray?
それはお互い様じゃろう。
Because I couldn't trust you.
じゃが、今は言い争いをしている場合ではなさそうじゃな。
Clover's getting out.
見ろ、四つ葉が9の扉の前に立っておる。
I don't mind her getting out. Honestly, that was the thing that she said in one of the endings in this branch. In this particular branch, she said that she was supposed to get out because Alice told her to get out to solve the problem. What? Nande? Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, this is the same exact ending. This is the same exact ending as the other one. This is the same exact ending as the other one. Yeah, like it's the same exact ending from up here, like this part. I think. Right? Yeah, because that was the ending that Clover did the same thing, I thought. But it was another ending that was like that. It was another ending that's similar to this. It's probably the same writing though, too. Clover! If anything, the only difference is that we get to finally see Quark react to somebody leaving. This is the first time we get to see that. What the hell do you think you're doing? What? Justice? Wait, do you mean... Thank goodness it stops making that sound.
9の扉が開放されました。9の扉閉鎖まで残り9秒です。
それじゃ、私、行くから。四つ葉さん！待ってください、四つ葉さん！
てめえさせるか！
Well, it's already open, so she has to leave. Let her leave, it's fine. Oh god, Dio again. Dio's trying to do the stupid thing. Dio leapt at Clover, his fists raised. Clover easily avoided him and moved towards the door.
Sayonara.
Bye, Clover. This is good, because this was the ending I wanted to see, at least. At least Tenmyouji and Quark are not leaving. I caught the one last glimpse of her face as she slid through the door. It was a mask of ice. Bing bing.
9の扉を閉鎖しました。
I mean, that was to be expected to begin with, in the fact that, like, Clover was going to, like, just leave like that, I guess. Because I was like, whose numbers are, like, the closest to leaving, and then who's plausible about voting about the thing that they were supposed to get. I mean, if Kay voted Betray, I think that would have been safe for them, but then again, he didn't really think twice to see that Clover would betray, because Luna was the type of person who would ally all the time, so Clover might have chose to betray to begin with anyway, so...
これにてノナリーゲームは終了となります。お疲れ様でした。なお、ゲームの終了に伴い、施設内にある9の扉以外のすべての扉は開放されます。
What other doors are unlocked anyways? We've already seen all the doors,
ど
isn't
う
it?
ぞごゆっくりとお過ごしください。残りの余生をこの施設の中で。
Alright, bad end. Don't add any more, just bad end. Just bad end it, please. Game over. Thank you. Alright, so that's one ending at least. Let's get the other ending out of the way at least. I think the other ending is going to be just Tenmyouji's ending. Alright, we're going to save over that. Getting back. Return. Alright, so that's bad ending number 1. I'm pretty sure the other one is going to be Tenmyouji's ending anyway, so... Alright, we're going to skip forward anyways. We already know what to anticipate. I don't need to read this again. I literally just read it, like, not long ago, so... It's to be expected we're going to see the same dialogue conversations here. I'm pretty sure they're going to betray me. That's a given for me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
1
Ally. Okay, let's see what happens here. Yeah.
アンビデックスゲーム
Yeah, I'm just gonna skip over these because I mean they're pretty much the same dialogue points of saying it's over, and then we're just going to go here anyways. All right, let's see what changes here. Like, will they choose betray still?
アンビデックスゲーム第3ラウンドの結果を発表します。
I mean, no matter what, this ending somehow. So.
一度画面にご注目ください。
I mean, no matter what, it's gonna end. The branch is gonna end anyways, no matter what, I think. Betray ally, no, betray an ally. Yeah, I know, I got it. I already knew that. I basically go back to 1 point again. So this time, Tenmyouji and Quark and Clover are leaving at the same time.
結果は以上のように確定しました。各自バングルの数字をご確認ください。
Yeah, so no matter what, I'm always gonna get screwed over by Tenmyouji. So let's hear what he has to say though, because we finally get to hear what he has to say, because at this point he is guilty. The other path he wasn't guilty at all because we both did equally just that, but I already seen this path being a bad point anyways for me as a character for Sigma, but. Also, I'm starting to think, like, to the point of it, is that me as a person, I feel like all these bad, like, choices that are happening, I feel like at some point, can we get, like, justice and revenge for all of them? Like, I feel like some of these characters don't deserve to keep being around. Considering Quark and Tenmyouji, it makes me despise these characters a lot more over time, as well as the fact that, like, Clover betraying us a few times. Vi hasn't really fully betrayed us yet, which is really interesting, and I'm totally fine with her. Dio was already despised that. Luna hasn't betrayed us really that much. Kay has betrayed a few times, but it's never towards my character, which is interesting too. Alice has betrayed me a few times. I don't know, it's just starting to make me feel like there's just literally only like 3 characters that I'm okay with. Everyone is flip-flop, but then worst of all is everyone is always making a decision that makes me despise them each time. And it's written really well to make me hate them in these particular paths. And I'm just like, why are these guys so stupid? But making me hate them. It makes me want to see them die or lose somewhere in time, where I get to freely be like, yeah, I got to escape, yada yada. Which we did do once with Fi and Deal, but that's only because that was the choice we had to make. But yeah, Tenmyouji has basically screwed me over twice now. Not twice, actually. More than twice. Because he screwed me up many times now. This is not the first time. And this is like maybe the 5th, 6th time now. And I'm just so annoyed with his character already. Hey! What the hell, guys? Why you betray me?
クオークのことは関係ない。投票はわしの独断で行ったんじゃ。
じっちゃん。
Alright, fine. Why'd you break your promise, Tenmyouji?
わしが誓ったのは次のことだけじゃ。わしらは目標値に達しても決して9の扉は開かない。
That doesn't make any sense. But then Clover's gonna open it. So that means you're going out through the door anyways. What? So you're not going to leave?
いや、そうではない。
Yeah, it's not what he promised either.
脱出はもちろんさせてもらう。
What?
見ろ、あれを。
Yeah, it's Clover.
四つ葉が9の扉の前に立っておるじゃろ。
Yeah, Clover's gonna open the door for them. What? Don't tell me. I'm guessing Quark won't say anything about this.
あのバカ女開きやがったな。
だが結果発表によると確か天明寺とクオークも。
Yeah, the other two also has it. The words were barely out of her mouth when Tenmyouji and Quark ran past.
おい待てよこの野郎。
Maybe Dio can beat up Quark. It would be hilarious if he doesn't try to hit Clover this time. Instead, he's gonna try to hit Quark and capture him and prevent him from going forward, while Tenmyouji is gonna get forced stuck. go past the door with Clover only.
まさか脱出するつもりなんですか？そうじゃなかったら開かないでしょ。9の扉。
Yeah.
どうして？
外に出て仲間を呼んでくるの。ゼロボスを捕まえるためにね。
Oh, she's saying something different. Because earlier she said she wanted justice, now she just wants to capture Zero.
天明寺とクオークも行くのか？
ああ、すまんな。
ごめんね、みんな。
Shut the hell up. I don't forgive any of you two. Well, I won't forgive Tenmyouji for the most part either. But I think Quark, I'd rather lump Quark with Tenmyouji because
どうじゃシグマ。
they share the same choices anyways, but I don't think I would blame Quark. I would blame Tenmyouji for the most part.
納得したか？わしは約束を破ってはおらん。9の扉を開いたのはわしらではなく四つ葉じゃからな。
No, you promised about the ally, not you should have promised about the ally, not the door opening. Like hell, I'm happy. That's some shady crap, Tenmyouji.
まあどうとでも言うがいい。
And he never told us the truth behind any of the stuff he was gonna say. He ended up just ignoring our questions too.
わしはどうしても外に出なければならんのじゃ。一刻も早くここを出て奴に制裁を下さねばならん。
Who?
奴というのは
Who?
無論ゼロボスのことじゃよ。
Yeah, right.
ゼロボスがどこにいるのか知ってるって言うんですか？
We kinda do, but we don't know his real name.
ああ、ここまで来たのじゃからもう行っても構わんじゃろ。わしはゼロボスのことをよく知っておるんじゃ。
Oh?
なんだと？
He's probably in this room with us, and that's Kay. I wanna see what happens. What he's gonna accuse.
9の扉が開放されました。9の扉閉鎖まで残り9秒です。
I wonder who he's gonna accuse as Zero Senior in this room, or who he's gonna.
さあ、行くよ。
If he knows, then why would Clover?
天明寺さん。
Okay, well we'll see.
クオーク。
うん。
ちょっと待って。
Hmm?
シグマさん、これ読んでもらえる？
I For some reason, I feel like Quark is like, this is for you. And he's gonna put his hand on my hand and then sticks the middle finger on me or something like that. I feel like that would be hilarious. He's just like, haha, I memed on ya. Get good, Sigma. You could have chose better. I'll be like, God damn it, Quark. I hate your ass now. But I don't think he's like that. Quark held something out. A piece of paper? I looked down to see 2 pieces of folded paper. What is this?
手紙。
Huh?
AB ゲームの前に所長室で書いたんだ。
What? I'm so confused.
これを読んでもらえれば、じっちゃんと僕のこと分かってもらえると思う。
No, screw that. I don't care about the truth about Tenmyouji. I already know what it is, but, or at least parts of it. But I will see. I guess this thing might reveal the truth, I guess.
だから、はい。
He pressed it into my hand.
それじゃあね、シグマさん。
Tenmyouji is a son of a gun. Then he turned and ran towards the door. Tenmyouji and Chloe were following his footsteps. I was so surprised by the letter that I didn't even try to stop them. Before I could think of anything to say.
ではな。
じゃあね。
Or maybe the letter has like a... The letter's like, get good, son. Get good.
9の扉を閉鎖しました。これにてノナリーゲームは終了となります。お疲れ様でした。なお、ゲームの終了に伴い、施設内にある9の扉以外のすべての扉は開放されます。どうぞごゆっくりとお過ごしください。
No better time to read the letter, damn it.
残りの余生をこの施設の中で
Can we read the letter at least and then just close it out like that?
くそ、言っちまったな。
あとはあの3人が助けを呼んでくれることを祈るばかりだな。
They won't. They won't. I can guarantee that much.
そうですね。
I looked down at Quark's letter and slowly unfolded it. His handwriting was still slightly uneven, but he filled both pages with writing I began to read. Okay, I'm gonna read it like normal because it's much more easier to read like normal for this point. For whatever, I'll read it as much as I can before the end of the episode. I don't know how fast I'll read this, but we'll see. It was a really stormy day when he found me. He said that the rain was coming down so hard it almost hurt, but somehow he managed to hear a baby crying. Oh, Quark is not Tenmyouji's biological kid. That's intriguing. Maybe Quark is part of the Free the Souls like clone that was abandoned, maybe? I guess I must have been crying pretty loud. He took me home and did his best to raise me, but he'd never been married or had a kid before, so I think it was really hard for him. He couldn't figure out how to mix the formula, so he always carries the directions around with him. He was always carrying the directions. Okay, whatever. Also, I guess I was a pretty picky eater, so if he didn't get the water to formula ratio just right, I wouldn't eat it. I guess I was kind of a pain, huh? But he didn't give up, and now here I am. When he found me, I was really small, and he was worried that I might not make it. That's why he named me Quark. A quark is a really small thing, and I was really small too. Grandpa didn't need to worry though, because it turned out that I was pretty tough. When I was one, he forgot I was sleeping in the bed of his truck and drove off. I rolled out and went off the back, but I didn't even get scratched. I started walking when I was 2, and when he wasn't looking, I fell down the stairs. Oof. I didn't get hurt then either. When I was 3, I got really sick. I had a super high fever for a week, but eventually I got better. I guess you could say I'm pretty lucky. Anyways, I didn't really have any more accidents after that, and I was a pretty healthy kid. By the time I was 6, I started helping Grandpa out with his work. His job was to gather junk from abandoned buildings. Then he'd fix it up and pull out the useful parts and sell them. There were plenty of abandoned buildings, but finding good stuff in them was hard. You had to know which parts were useful, or you could end up wasting a bunch of time. Every time I'd find something, he'd explain to me what it was, how it was supposed to work, and how to fix it. All sorts of things. Usually, though, I just wanted to finish up work so I could go to the theater. Oh, they had a theater, I guess? The theater came to our town once a week in a wagon. Oh, that theater. So it's a circus theater, not a movie theater, like cinema theater. They showed old news or movies. No, it is those cinema theater. What? I'm so confused. I went every single week, but Grandpa only went once in a while, and he'd only go weeks when they showed movies. Oh yeah, I didn't know that I'd been adopted until I was 7. One of the other kids on my block told me. I guess after Grandpa found me, he looked all over town to try and find someone who'd take me. The kid from my block actually had a mom, and he'd ask her if she would take me too. I gotta admit, I was pretty shocked when I heard that. There were a lot of kids with parents around, so hearing that someone lived with his actual mom was pretty impressive. I was also kind of surprised that Grandpa had tried to get someone else to take me. Did that mean he didn't want me? The kid who told me about Grandpa trying to get rid of me was a real jerk. He was totally spoiled, and he bragged to everyone about how he had a mom. That's a weird brag, I guess. He liked to come up to me while I was working and say stuff like, "Must be hard not having a mother." It never bothered me, but after I found out that Grandpa had adopted me, I started to think that maybe he didn't really want me. If I could work on my own, then he could get rid of me. I was scared to know the truth, so I never asked him. Then one day he took me to a bar in our neighborhood. During that day, of course, he went there sometimes to drink scotch, but I'd never gone before. When we got in, he just walked up to the counter with a grumpy look he has and thought, "Oh no, he's gonna make me work here." I was wrong. I saw him pass something to the bartender, and then he picked me up and set me down on the stool next to the counter. The stool was pretty high, especially for a 7-year-old kid, and my legs were dangled off of it. It seems really, really high to me, and I was pretty nervous. Oh, this is the weird drink thing, the root beer float. The root beer float document that I saw in the Golden Dock. Eventually, the bartender came back with a glass of scotch and another glass full of something else. As I looked closer, I realized that the second glass was full of some sort of brown liquid with a scoop of ice cream in it. It took me a minute to realize what it was. A root beer float. I'd never seen one before. It was so surprising. Root beer was even more expensive than the nicest alcohol in the bar. Really? To me and the other kids, it seemed more like an urban legend than a real drink. It is a real drink. I've drank some before, though it's quite messy because it's like it could spill over if you scoop too much ice cream into the soda. It's delicious in a way, but I think there's like I think some people might not like the cinnamony-esque taste, the brown sugar taste of the root beer, I think, which I think that's what root beers are. It's just more of a brown sugar taste, I guess. But there's a balanced mixture of like, do you get more drink than the ice cream, or do you want more ice cream than the drink? Which I prefer more of the ice cream than the drink, I think. I like the ice cream mixture with root beer taste on the side, I think. That it's kind of like more additive than it is to be a drink with a scoop in it. But I mean, some people might prefer it differently, though. I don't know. But there it was, right in front of me. I stared at the float. I still wasn't sure if it was real at the time. And then it turned to look at Grandpa. He looked back at me. I didn't know what to do, so I turned to the bartender. He already turned around and moved off, though, so I figured he must have put the glass down in front of me on purpose. It still didn't seem like it could be real, but I was just staring at it when Grandpa told me to hurry up and drink it before the ice cream melt. Well, the point is to make it melt, though. His gruff voice sounded like an angel's. "Is this really mine?" He nodded. Words can't describe how awesome it was. I never tasted anything like the root beer before. The creamy sweetness of the ice cream made my entire head feel light. I felt like the luckiest boy in the whole world. That's not an exaggeration, I really thought that. The root beer float was delicious, but what made me even happier was Grandpa. When I looked over at him, he was smiling. I know I know that that's gotta be hard for you to imagine, but he really is. I don't get it. This is not convincing me of anything besides telling me what the characters are like outside of this place. Right then, I didn't care whether he just found me and adopted me or not. He'd bought me a root beer float. That made me way luckier than some kid who had a mother but had never tasted root beer. Of course, after we left the bar, he was the first kid I bragged to. So Grandpa and I were doing pretty good until the fight. I was in a super bad mood that day. I'd torn one of my shoes that morning, and some old drunk guy had yelled at me. All the junk I found was totally useless. The day was almost over, and I was fed up, so I just grabbed some random trash and took it back to the house. When I showed what I found to Grandpa, he frowned. He started going through each things I brought back, explaining why they were all useless. I got really mad and just yelled, "I don't care!" Then he got mad and I couldn't take it anymore, so I ran away. I was pretty upset and I started thinking that maybe Grandpa had only adopted me so he could raise me to work and make money for him. After a while, I went and hid in an abandoned building, but by that point, I'd started to calm down and think that maybe I should just go back and apologize. It had started raining pretty hard though, so I decided to wait for it to stop. But that was just an excuse. The truth was that I was nervous. Part of me knew I've done something wrong, but I didn't want to admit it. The rain didn't stop though, so I just sat there staring out at the gloomy gray sky. I imagined Grandpa coming to get me. It kept raining all night and he never showed up. Oof. Alright. I realize we're going over time. So we're going to finish the rest of this letter reading thing in the next episode. Sweet. Yeah, so next episode, let's continue this reading. I mean, these readings are always really long and lengthy, which is pretty much the point, I guess, but we'll get the ending for... I think it might be a Quark ending, though, because the way that this letter is reading, it sounds like it's a Quark ending, because I don't think there's any other ending that's related to Quark in a weird way. And I think this relates to Quark much more than Tenmyouji, I think. So, we'll see what happens then. Otherwise, that's it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode of Never Minds, and hope you guys have a great, amazing day, week, night, or whenever watching this. Next episode, let's go ahead and continue the story, finish up to this ending, and then we'll make our way back to this branch right here. And finish up this final blue door puzzle room. And this is the blue door puzzle room to, what was it towards? It's not the recreational room, was it? I think it was the recreational room, because we haven't been to the recreational room at all, I think. This was the archives, right? No, this is a PEC, pressure exchange chamber. Pantry. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was the recreational room. We haven't been to that room yet, so that's the last room we haven't been to. So anyways, we'll finish up this in the next episode, and then we'll make our way to whatever is left of this game's branching path there, and then all that's left is just trying to unlock all the endings and get all the secret stuff out of the way, and then once we're done with this game, and we can move on. I'll probably take a break from the third game. There is a third entry of the game called Zero Dilemma, I think, but I'm probably going to ignore that for a little bit, because this was a very lengthy game. Not knowing if that one is going to be just as lengthy as this game, as VLR, I might need to take a break from that to try some other games out that might not take this long to finish, because I wasn't anticipating this game to go up to 100 episodes. But it's what it is, unfortunately. So, anyways, that's it for this episode, and hope to see you guys in another one. Roz, out.